talk about what actually makes up a credit score. I am going to share my credit score with you now and show you what Credit Karma shows as the things that make up your credit score. Credit Karma shows your Vantage score, but I've checked my score in multiple places and everywhere it is over 813 to 826. So it's got a variety depending on where I look, but that score is very close. So I don't worry too much about points. And once you get up to once you crack 800 and you're up in a higher level, you really don't have to worry about those fluctuations where you do when you're at the lower level, where you're kind of teetering between 600 and 650 or right at the edge of 700 or getting close to 750. Okay, here are the things that affect your credit score from the highest level of impact to the lowest level of impact. These are things that you can work on. You can fix them. So these are things that you need to have in the back of your mind so that you're naturally doing them and that you can go fix them when you do have a problem on your credit report that shows that maybe you've messed up something or you need to fix something or you need to focus on a certain area. So number one is payment history. Payments on time, no late payments, no missed payments, no accounts that have been not paid at all. The percentage of payments you made on time is very, very important to your credit score. So you might have messed up in the past and you might have some missed payments or late payments, but that is the number one thing we're going to change going forward. If you learn nothing at all, pay your bills on time, pay them on time. Do not be late, do not miss payments. Find a way to make your payments no matter what. If you have to go work a second job, it is worth it. You might have to make sacrifices, but go do it. Number two is credit card use or credit use. It depends on where you're looking as to what this is called, but it's basically just the amount of credit compared to how much credit you actually have. So say you have, for instance, I have a credit card with a limit of $34,000, but the max I ever put on that card in 1 month is about $300. So I put $300, but I have access to this huge amount of credit. So that big gap, that gap is what you want to grow. When you are trying to improve your credit, you want to grow the gap between what you can use versus what you are actually using. That is how people get really, really good credit. They have access to credit that they're not actually using. And the higher you can build that, the more your credit score is going to improve. The next part of your credit score is derogatory marks on your credit report. So that is things like collections or bankruptcies or tax liens, things that are really negative. So civil judgments, all of these things that are negative and count against you on your credit report because you maybe stopped paying or you couldn't pay. So the really bad things that you necessarily didn't enjoy going through in life, those things do affect your credit score. So this is one of the reasons why if you can prevent these, that is the best option. It is highly recommended because that is possible to climb out of, but it is a lot harder to improve your credit score afterward. And it does take longer to improve your credit score after than it does necessarily just improving it from where you are right now. Okay, next thing that makes up your credit score is credit age. So this is how long you've had your account open, and it's the average age of your open account. So opening up like 16 credit cards this month is not going to improve your credit score that much. It'll actually put you down a little bit. So I don't recommend going out and trying to open a bunch of accounts right now if you don't have any. But if you don't have any credit, yes, you probably should open one credit card or something of that nature, maybe a secured card if you can't get a traditional credit card, so that you have some type of line of credit starting now. The longer you keep a certain line of credit open, like a credit card, the better it is for your score. So I do have a credit card that I've had open since I was in college, and that honestly has really helped my credit. So the next factor that goes into your credit score is total accounts. So they want to see what accounts you have and what ones are open, what ones are closed, how long you've had them is obviously a factor, but they want to see a mix of different types of credit. So you'll generally want to have, for a good credit score, 2 credit cards and 1 like revolving loan. loan. So if you want to do it debt-free, you would get a self-lender loan. And if you didn't really care if you're debt-free or not, you could do a car loan or any kind of student loan or anything like that. And the final thing that makes up your credit score, according to this, is hard inquiries. So this is when people are pulling your credit to actually give you credit. So they want your credit report and your credit score in order to determine if you're worth risking their money to give you credit. So whenever you pull your own credit or you use something like Credit Karma or CreditWise and Capital One, that pulling your score does not count against you. That is a soft pull. That is you checking your own credit, and you can check your credit score whenever. It doesn't affect your credit at all. If you pull your credit report during the year from annualcreditreport.com, that will not affect your credit either. But every time you apply for a new credit card, you get a new loan, you apply for something like that, it is going to affect your credit score. So those are the things that actually affect your credit and the things that you are going to want to start looking at and seeing where you can improve. The good news is that budgeting and paying attention to your money and paying down your debt are actually things that help your credit score naturally. So two of the things on this list are automatically improved when you start handling your money well and paying off debt. Having a lot of debt does not actually give you a good credit score, but paying off that debt will improve your credit score. So the more you pay down while also raising your limits, the better off you'll be. That credit gap is really the best thing you can do. So I hope after this video, if nothing else, you remember to always make your payments on time and to use less of your credit, which means pay off more of your debt. Now that we've talked about what actually makes up your credit score, we will go into the next video, which is going to be all about how to improve your credit score and the things that you can actually tangibly do to improve your credit score. I will say that improving my credit score from the 600s to now the 800s has been a long journey, and it is true that there is no real quick fix to fixing your credit. You can do the work yourself. You don't have to pay someone necessarily to fix your credit, and you do have the option to build it over time. I know that doesn't sound great, and it does really suck when you want to get into a home but you can't do it right away, but it's very much worth it. In the end, having a really good credit score allowed us to get our most recent refinance on our mortgage, and that is going to save us tens of thousands of dollars over the life of that loan. So having good credit can save you more money than really any penny pinching can do. Those are going to be the biggest purchases where you can either save or lose the most amount of money. So maybe you don't necessarily want to cut out your lattes or do these really frugal things, but by improving your credit score and handling money and credit responsibly, you can save so much money on things like mortgages and car loans. So stay tuned for more videos in this series. We will be talking about how to improve your credit score, the things that you can actually tangibly do, as well as walk through how we use credit cards without ever going into credit card debt and without ever feeling like we're using them irresponsibly or worried about the fact that we have credit cards. So I hope you stay tuned. I loved making this video, and I really like talking about credit because it's something that affects all of our lives so much, and then a lot of us pretend that it doesn't until we really need it. So I hope you stay tuned for this series. I'm really excited about it. Thank you for watching, and check out this next video. It is all about how to actually improve your credit score, and I know that if you are working on improving your credit score, you are really going to love it.